Hello, and welcome back to your South King County real estate update. And today is the first weekly episode of 2022. So welcome, Happy New Year, Happy Blue Friday. And let's get this January 7th episode kicked off. I'll hop into those slides. So my name is Sarah Eggleston. I'm with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott, and I really enjoyed bringing you the news every Friday at 3 p.m. We're a little late today, but some technical difficulties prevented on-time arrival, but we got everything figured out now, and we are ready to rock and roll. So it's January 7th, 2022, and let's find out what happened this week. So the Seahawks did take away a win on January 2nd, a pretty big win. 51-29 against the Lions. So when we return on Sunday, this is the last Blue Friday of the Seahawks season. So they'll be kicking it off at 1:25 p.m. on Sunday, the 9th. So what happened this week? Well, today I am excited to announce that I have a buyer that's closing next week, and her CD, her closing disclosures, went out today. Closing disclosures are something that needs to go out with every loan that's funded, and these are details about the structure of the loan, the payments of the loan, and they need to be delivered to the buyer a minimum of 3 days prior to closing for them to review and sign. So this is something that has prevented on-time closings in the past. There's some little detail on the back end of their loan that is kind of outstanding, and so they aren't able to issue the CD, the closing disclosures, 3 business days prior to closing. So in that case, we know we'll need to extend. That actually happened on my personal transaction. There was one thing outstanding on the loan, so we had to wait and take care of that, and then do the CD 3 business days prior. So we ended up having to extend an extra business day, just so that we could have 3 days to review all of the details for the loan. This is something that went into place after the 2008 crisis, the mortgage crisis, and there were a lot of rules that went into place to protect buyers from getting into a loan that they either didn't understand or couldn't afford. So they are given 3 business days to review these documents before signing prior to closing. So go ahead and jump back into the slides. But yep, we are scheduled to close this coming Wednesday, and everything looks like it is falling into place for that. So this came out on the 28th of December. So this is a little bit lagging because we didn't do the episode last week because of the year-end recap episode. So just to rewind a little bit, home price growth is slowing across the United States. Here's what's happening in Seattle. So we've had a couple crazy years for real estate. The pandemic really brought on a different meaning of home for individuals, and people wanted to have bigger homes, spend more of their income on their home since they were spending more time there. Really just changed the way people view home, and therefore increased the price of homes. So we actually have seen a significant amount of growth over the last couple of years, and we are the 7th fastest as of October. These CoreLogic Case-Shiller Home Price Index stats are a little bit lagging because they're very accurate. So it takes them a couple months to compile everything that goes into them. But prices were up 19.1% nationally in October from a year earlier, slightly lower than the 19.7 jump the previous month. So we are rising at a slower rate year over year, but home prices are still increasing. And if you look at the Seattle area compared to the national average, this goes back to October of 16, and we have gained 69.9% equity since then. And nationally, that's 48.8. So you can see we're well outpacing the national average, especially in 2021. We rose at a significantly greater rate than the rest of the nation. House prices have grown since the beginning of the pandemic. Really, that home means something different, and people are willing to spend more on that than they were previously. Generally, we expect more competition to return to Seattle in the spring. Right now, there's just nothing for buyers to look at. So the intensity of the shoppers that are out there is incredible. There's very little to choose from, and a lot of people fighting over the same few properties. So we expect more homes to come on market as we head closer and head into spring. The question is kind of how much is inventory is going to come to the market. Is that going to be enough to reduce the amount of houses that are having bidding wars, all cash offers, and reduce that price growth? Experts kind of debate on that for exactly how much is going to come to the market in the spring. But a bigger supply of homes would definitely be a little bit of relief for the buyers in the market. If you are a seller, if you're considering selling your home, I would get on right now while there's nothing on the market and you don't have any competition. So get on as soon as possible. If you want to do that, let me know. I can help you get on the market quickly. And then this one came out yesterday. This is Perfect Storm slows Seattle area housing market in December. See what's happening near you. Home prices in the region were generally flat from November to December, kind of shifting up and down depending on what area you were in, but not very much. The winter slowdown is very typical. Normally, we see most of our transactions in the spring and summer, and then fewer homes come into the market and fewer transactions in the fall and winter. If you compare this to other Decembers, there's so many fewer homes on the market now than previous Decembers. With the lower interest rates and the lack of housing available, man, demand is crazy because interest rates are expected to go up throughout the year this year. The Omicron variant of the virus and the snow in our area definitely reduced the amount of stuff that was for sale even more than we would have had otherwise. So Snohomish County, their median sales price went up 22.1% from December of 2020. So that's crazy growth. And Pierce County was up 18.5%. Kitsap, Thurston, and Whatcom were also double digits. King County was the slowest increasing percentage, up 9.5% from December of 2020. But if you break out Seattle from the surrounding parts of King County, it shows a completely different story. South King County prices climbed more than 20%. And on the east side, they were up 37.3%. 37.3% price growth in a year. Let me have that sink in for just a second. That's insanity. 37.3. Okay. So we'll get more detailed results as we get in for 2021, as we get into 2022 a little bit further, and those stats are processed. But if here you can see the King County, we went from 740 to 810. Snohomish, Kitsap, and Pierce have all gone up significantly from last year. And really, it's just Seattle that's slowing King down on these statistical numbers. And if we look at months of inventory, it would take less than a week to sell all the homes available in King and Snohomish counties. So less than a week of inventory available on the market right now. And in Puyallup, for example, the median home price sold last month was up 17.8% from a year earlier. And Everett was up 25.2% from a year earlier. Like, these numbers are mind-boggling. They really are. So we do expect home prices to continue to climb in 2022, but probably at a slower rate than they have been in 2021 and 2020. So that is something that'll be a little bit of a relief for buyers, but home prices have increased so much over the past couple of years that I know that it has forced a few buyers out of the market, and they're having to reevaluate their situation. So on the left here is closed sales, and then on the right we have median prices for Seattle East Side, North King County, Southwest King County, and Southeast King County. And you can see closed sales December to December 2020 to 2021. All of those are down, but the median prices, all of those are up, with Seattle having the least change from last year. But man, this East Side up 37.3%. That's crazy. This is a heat map showing the darker the red is, the higher home values have increased from the year prior. So this dark red here, that's all of Southeast King County and like several different spots here. This is 30% or greater growth in home values year over year. It's nuts. And that brings us to our market stat minute. In the last 7 days, we had 293 new listings come to King County, 237 pending, and 423 sold. So you can see our new listings did pop up a little bit from last week, but that's mainly because of Christmas and New Year's, people not wanting to list over that time period. But our pendings plummeted, and that's because there was nothing available to choose from last weekend. There was very few homes that came to the market, especially ones that lasted the weekend. I had pulled up this market watch 3 days ago. So this is before all of the new listings came on for this weekend, and after all of the ones went pending for the last weekend. There was 63 new listings available 3 days ago on the MLS for King County, all of King County. 63 listings survived the weekend without going pending. It's crazy. So our showing graph, this goes to December 30th, and it may be the last time I show this graph because I'm not sure if they're going to keep updating it, but you can see our showing traffic for Christmas was pretty low. It bounced back a little bit heading into New Year, but this is definitely what we'd expect to see this time of year, is the lower showing traffic, especially with nothing to see. And J. Lennox Scott, John L. Scott, Chairman and CEO, brings us our monthly update for Southeast King County. Southwest King County is pretty similar to this, but overall, 86% of homes are going pending within the first 30 days. There's 0.3 months supply, and this is for a December recap. So there's 0.3 months supply. We'll run out of inventory in a third of a month if no new homes came on the market. And it's only gotten more intense since this report came out. So keep that in mind. Last week, our 30-year fixed rate was 3.11. Now we are at 3.22. So ticking up. This is what was expected from all of the experts out there that were projecting. We are seeing this upward trend that we've been seeing for a little bit. Stronger inflation and the robust economy growth and tight labor markets are kind of pushing this a little bit. The job market bounced back from last year's brief but intense coronavirus recession. There's fewer people collecting unemployment. There might be fewer people working, but there's a whole bunch of people that have, this is a whole nother issue. There's a whole bunch of people that have left jobs for various reasons. But if you look at the labor statistics, the unemployment rate is incredibly low. And if you bring it to today's rate, we are actually, for 30-year fixed, at 3.5. So this is the highest we've seen in a year at least. So we'll see how much it increases. I believe that throughout the year, we can expect to see an upward trend on these mortgage rates. So if you're thinking about buying a home, I know there's very little to pick from at the moment, but it might be in your best interest to get pre-approved, get ready, and start keeping an eye on the market in case something, the perfect thing might come up, and you'll be ready when it does. So if you would like to get a copy of the forecast here, I can either send you a hard copy or a digital copy to your email, whatever you'd like, but I do have copies of this 2020 John L. Scott housing forecast. This one's in particular is for King, but we have Snohomish. I have Portland. I have so many access to so many of these housing forecasts for our Pacific Northwest region that if you're curious about an area, reach out. I can definitely give you some insight into what's going on in that area. And last week we had our housing market update 2021 recap and 2022 predictions episode. That is up on my website, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So make sure to catch that replay, especially if you're thinking about transacting in real estate in 2022. This is a do not miss episode. So go back and watch that replay. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you about real estate and the real estate market in your specific area. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I've been considering doing a little Q&A video in the near future. So if you have questions, please send them to me. I would love to answer any questions you may have. And if you have these questions, other people might too. So I'll make a video on it. Thank you so much for joining me for your South Kane County real estate update. I will be back here at 3 p.m. next week to deliver your South Kane County real estate news. Happy New Year and have a fantastic week. See you next one.